on to lesson number 2 of using creative ideas around the drum set. If you have not seen lesson number 1, then this lesson isn't going to make any sense whatsoever. So if you haven't seen lesson 1, go and watch it right now. You've clicked the wrong thing. Go on. Off you go. We all good? Everyone here for lesson number 2? We all number 2s? Good stuff. So in our last lesson, we were learning about how we can make really simple creative choices to come up with interesting ideas on the kit. And I was demonstrating using that pattern of right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. Let's just remind ourselves of what that sounded like. What I'm looking to do now is I'm going to make another creative choice. I'm going to change the bass drum pattern to that drum beat. So rather than just playing a simple quarter note pulse, I'm going to look at interesting ideas I could play with the bass drum. Now, the most efficient way to learn all the different bass drum patterns you can underneath that pattern is to approach it in the kind of rhythmic grid method taught by people like Benny Greb, Mike Johnston, Mark Guiliana. That really is going to solve a lot of your issues. You'll learn to play all the different ways you can. However, what I want to show you today is once we've learned those different kinds of rhythmic permutations, how we can actually use them in the drum kit. You might be amazing at learning patterns, but if you're not very good at making them up, then you might feel a little bit, sort of useless. You've got all this power and you don't know how to use it. Well, that's where the Groovetown Brewery comes in. The Groovetown Brewery is basically just a playlist on Spotify. You can follow it down in the description below. It's a collection of songs that I use when I'm playing the drums that have really strong bass lines or really strong bass drum patterns that with this particular kind of hand pattern are really useful because it really challenges me to want to have to learn where all the bass drums are going to land exactly. So if I take something like Lovely Day by Bill Withers, bum, 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 you get it. If I play something like that, if I try and play that underneath that pattern, at first, it's not going to make any sense. But once I really carefully think about where each of those where each of those bass drums is going to land, then I can really kind of get used to things, and it starts to sound really, really cool and gives a whole new life to that drum beat. Same kind of thing if I use a different example, perhaps something like, a bit of a saucy one, but Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On. Oh, it's such a good groove. Starts to give the groove such new life. It makes us think really carefully about where the bass drum is going to land. So let's take a closer look at that Marvin Gaye groove. The bass drum pattern, first of all, it lands on beats 1, the and of 2, the and of 3, and 4. Then we've got to look more closely in context at where it lands within our diddle-based pattern. So the first one, the bass drum's just going to land on our first right hand. 1 E and A. Then we've got the accent on 2 of the backbeat. So, followed by a right, right, left, and on the second right hand is where the and of 2 is, because it's 1 E and A, 2 E and A. So our first 8 notes would sound like this. The second grouping of 8, because if you remember in the first lesson, whoosh, we split them in 2. We're doing the same thing again here. In the second group of 8, our third bass drum in the pattern, which lands on the and of 3, is going to land on the first right hand of the double. So our second group of 8, right, left, right, right, is going to be right, left, right, right. And then our beat 4 is going to be our bass drum underneath our backbeat of our snare. And then we play out the rest of the pattern. So beats 3 to 4 will sound like this. I then put them together and I get this. A little bit faster. Quick tip for when you're actually learning this as well. What I would say is you want to learn each beat very, very slowly. So whilst it does sound great when you put it all together, don't be tempted to kind of only half learn each one. Really take it step by step. Just learn the first 4 notes of the first beat, then the second 4 notes, and just gradually add them as you go. Otherwise, it can be a bit of a headache when you've got so many notes to play with. And just like that, I've got a really, really cool new groove. The influence came when we were inspired by Marvin Gaye's song, but the pattern was our choice, and we've chosen to put those bass drums into place. And it just gives us this fantastic, awesome groove that I just can't even think of the right words to describe how wonderful and lovely it sounds. I've had such a good time learning and messing around with this groove for the last couple of weeks, and I really hope from watching this video you've got something from this as well. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and do check out the Spotify playlist Groovetown Brewery. There are some absolute bangers on there. Until next time, I've been Will. It's nice to see you.